Obviously, the UK is not a member of the European Union, but we participate in all activities under Eureka, including the clusters, which is great news. And it's Brexit-proof, so participation by UK companies is not affected by the non-association to Horizon Europe, which is great news. So scope for UK projects, we can apply for grants of up to £800,000. All types of UK registered organisations may take part, and then you can see for the autumn call the dates there. So for the autumn call, we'd expect projects to have started by the 1st of June this year, and then for the autumn, for the spring call, I think it's about September, October time. We expect projects to last between 2 years and 4 years, but obviously if there's flexibility there, contact us at the National Funding Agency and we can liaise with that, because not all projects are going to be in that time frame. They could be 18 months, they could be slightly greater than 48 months. Of course, the projects need to be collaborative, and as Xavier mentioned earlier, a minimum of 3 participants fits the bill. But obviously, the greater the participation from companies within a consortium really adds value to the consortium and the project's quality. If the duration falls outside that, as I mentioned earlier, just contact that email address, and then they'll put you through to either myself or for Tom Kirkham, who's the technical specialist within the portfolio of CELTIC-NEXT. I'm the program manager for Eureka, so I cover all of the programs or the funding streams that sit within Eureka, but Tom Kirkham is the technical expert. So if you've got any technical questions about your project, contact him. The link there, and as Xavier mentioned earlier, all the slides will be available after the presentation day. That's further guidance on the actual call and the scope for the program. And from the point of view of funding, we're allocating £5 million to this call for industrial research projects, and the percentage of the intervention rate is pretty standard amongst all national funding bodies. If you're a small enterprise, 70%, medium, 60%, large, 50%, and if you're a registered university or technical organisation, you can also participate up to 30% of the total UK project costs, of which you'll get 80% of. That was a quick canter through of the funding rates. I think there was a slide that was missed. There you go. Yeah. So for the scope of what we're looking for, the plan for action there, the link for the plan for action, there are 5 themes that sit within with Innovate UK's plan for action. The third theme being global cooperation. So please take a look at the link there, which will be available, and it gives you the outline of what we're actually looking for in the UK being a fully active member in global R&D. And then the ministerial innovation strategy is there, which also sort of gives us the levers to enact the plan for action under the global budget of what we're participating in the Eureka activities. We are no longer part of the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. We now form, a few weeks ago, we are now part of the Department for Science and Innovation and Technology. Just in case you look for BAIS, that no longer exists. We're part of the Department for Science and Innovation Technology. I think that's it from me. That's my details. That's my contact email address, which obviously the slide's about. So please do contact me, even if you're not from the UK and you want to know about what the process is for participation with a UK applicant, please do contact me and I'll be happy to answer any emails that you have from that. Does anybody have any questions regarding UK activity? Yes. I think you have to wait.
Yes, Dominique Defossé from NXP. One question from my side. In the eligibility criteria in UK, does it mean that the partners involved in UK has to be self-sustained in terms of a project proposal? And is there some criteria in eligibility for SME or number of partners, or etc.?
Of course, yeah. So for all intents and purposes, the UK, as we are a member of the Eureka Association, there's no additional criteria. So the UK organisations can collaborate on the full project proposal, the project proposal. It goes through the labelling process, and like all national funding bodies, we reserve the right to have a portfolio approach to the projects that we fund in line with national priorities. So from the point of view of funding the UK participants, they are just the same as if they are in any other country. So we'll fund the SMEs, we'll fund the large organisations. Okay. So there's no restriction, we will fund them.
Okay, good.
Cool. Thank you, Ben. We don't have questions online, as it seems, so thanks a lot. Really happy to have you here in person.
Thank you.
And also that you were able to really define a budget for the CELTIC Corps. Yeah.
And the good news is, on top of that, that we, the UK, are committing to the 3 years of participation in the cluster programme. So we are allocating £5 million to each of the clusters. There are 5 clusters. So we've committed £75 million to the cluster programme over the next 3 years. So it covers all the thematics that we have within, and then if there's any joint clusters that may appear that we have budget for that interests us in the national priority, then we would also join those where we can. So yeah, it's good news that we're really entering the cluster market, because it is a valuable tool. It's great for the scaling up of SMEs. It's great for the industry partners to mentor those SME collaborations, and it's great because we can now put our foot back in the door for European collaboration and the wider market.
And thanks that you did that for St. Patrick's Day. Really sorry about that.
No problem.
Okay.
Thanks,
Ben.
We have a question coming online.
Oh,
sorry, he's typing. Maurice, did you have time to type your questions?
Maybe in the meantime, Nolwenn wanted to say something in addition for PPI France.
Yeah, sorry, just a little thing. You didn't have the end of my slide, so of course you have my contact as well and more details, but because I was a bit short on my presentation. And just wanted to say something. One of my colleagues was here earlier. He would come back. He's actually our expert on telecommunication within BPI France, and is in charge of our national strategy of 5G acceleration. So if you have any question regarding this strategy and actually knowing a bit more about the ecosystem, and so the French partner you could have, or any question, he will come back at lunch, I think. So do not hesitate, or otherwise come and I will put you in contact. Sorry.
Maurice Malka is asking, how is this route different from Canada-UK route?
So as Xavier mentioned earlier, the countries that sit outside the European Union are paid up members to the Eureka Association, which enables us to have access to the funding streams and participate within the funding streams of Eureka. And therefore, unlike Eurostars, which is a co-funded program with the European Union, there doesn't need to be the requirement that you have to have a third partner within the consortium to make it an eligible consortium. So for example, under Eurostars, a UK-Canada consortium is ineligible, but a UK-Canada-Germany consortium is eligible. Under the cluster program, that doesn't apply because it's not a co-funded program within the European Union, and therefore, if you wanted a UK-Canada consortium, that'd be fine, but that's not recommended, as we've pointed out earlier. At least a minimum of 3 businesses from 3 different countries within the consortium is the minimum requirement to make sure it goes ahead. Well, just one last point, actually. The question that came up earlier about SMEs and startups and things like that, the Eureka Association has a program called the Investment Readiness Program. I would advise you to have a look at the link to that if you just Google Investment Readiness Program, because that may help you with the activities that you were looking for, because it's essentially a mission activities that can take you to different countries, and you do the brokerage within thematic areas or with countries of the Eureka's prioritization. So that may be useful to you.
Thank you.